How is the feelings for people in Poland change over the last couple of days? Did they expect this was coming? How did they feel when this all happened and moving forward?
I must admit that maybe many of us did not expect that this conflict was going to escalate to this scale. Right now, what you can feel, what you can see, what you can observe is that many people are scared, are fearful. Right now, you can see queues on the gas stations, and I've heard that there's shortage in gasoline right now here in the area, but most probably also in other parts of Poland. So we can feel what more or less a similar feelings that we did 2 years ago. We also understand that this time it is potentially going to be even more severe.
What is the fear? What are you afraid of? What is the worst case for people in Poland?
We as an ally with Ukraine, we are, some of us are thinking that the conflict could potentially escalate to this part of Europe too.
What would you say to people in Ukraine right now?
Well, we are praying for you. We are hoping that this conflict is going to end as soon as possible, and we are going to help you.
Do you have a lot of friends there? Do you know a lot of people there? What are they telling you?
So what you can hear and see right now, both in Poland and Ukraine, is a kind of fear, and it's a kind of trying to find out what's happening and what it is going to happen in the next few days. I've heard about people trying to escape from Ukraine. I've heard about families that were trying to join their relatives in Poland. The state of Poland did make it easier for people from Ukraine to come to Poland today. So right now, the only thing that you have to possess is a valid passport to cross the border. So we expect many people coming to Poland right now. We are getting ready to have refugees here. We are preparing centers for refugees, and trying to prepare for this influx of people from the affected regions of Ukraine.
Do you expect people in Tarnow, and do you have any refugee centers there that you're preparing?
Oh yeah, we do expect people a little bit everywhere in Poland. I've spoken today with some parish priests around here in Tarnow, and I know that the parishes are getting ready to have some refugees. So I think all of the NGOs are right now thinking about being sure that sooner or later we may expect people coming.
The other day, Putin gave a speech. He talked about how, the history of Ukraine, and made it seem basically like it was a part of Russia, that Ukraine was a part of Russia. Do you believe that?
All right. So first of all, we have to say that European history is a complex phenomenon, and it is that complex that territories here in Europe went from hands to hands, and for a certain period of time, also part of Poland was actually part of Russia. But this does not mean that those countries that exist right now, which are internationally recognized by the international community, do not have the right to exist. This is simply not true. Ukraine, as Poland, as Lithuania are independent countries recognized by the community of independent nations around the world. So aggression towards one of those countries is an actual aggression to an independent state.
Do you think the U.S. is doing enough? What do you think we can do?
You can always do more.
Poland is part of NATO. Does that make, we know how Putin feels about NATO. Obviously, he doesn't want Ukraine to join. Does that make you feel safer being in a country that is part of NATO, or maybe less safe?
For most of the for my compatriots, the presence of NATO army here in Poland is a guarantee of more peace and more protection.
Do you feel like there's a chance Putin could go farther? What is that a concern for you at all?
For 2 years now, we are living in a constant crisis, and every day we are experiencing things that we would never imagine before. So I think that many of us are ready to imagine that bad things can happen, things that we would never expected before.
How do you feel like we move forward from this, now that we're at the point where we're at?
Okay, things that happened already happened, and then it is hard to find a solution that will satisfy both sides probably of the conflict. But we all think that the sooner it stops, the less victims it is going to produce, and it is probably going to be easier to withdraw from this situation.
Do you feel like Polish people, a majority of them feel the same about the conflict, or is there mixed opinions there? What is, I guess, the majority think over there?
I believe I observe that most of the community of Polish people here are thinking the same, are supporting the independence of Ukraine, and especially we are supporting the peaceful existence of independent nations.
You had mentioned earlier, we talked a little bit about this. You said you had friends in Ukraine. Have you talked to them today or the last 2 days, or have you checking in on them? What are your concerns for them?
So far, most of my friends are secure, and especially because most of my friends live in the western part of the country, which is less affected. But what they say is that they actually fear about their lives and the lives of their relatives and family, and that's it.